Okay, so we have said that we are looking at the paper of December 2021. And in this paper of December 2021, question number 1 says, outline 10 rules for effective writing of business letters. 10 rules for effective writing of business letters. 10 rules. Let me clear the whiteboard, so we are not using it. Ten rules for writing business letters. 1 is adopt a formal and courteous style. Adopt a formal and courteous style. Number 2, be concise. Be concise. Number 3, use plain and direct language. Use plain and direct language. Number 4, consider every word. Consider every word. Another one is use an appropriate tone. Use an appropriate tone. Another one is be polite and respectful. Be polite and respectful. Another one is be creative. Be creative. Be creative. Another one, describe the issue well. Describe the issue well. Another one is state the impact on the business. State the impact on the business. And number 10 is proofread your letter. Proofread your letter. So I think those steps are very, very clear. It should be the third or the second time we are coming across a question that is asking us about how to write effective business letters. So I believe we are well prepared in that. Number 2, or part B of that question 1, inasema analyze 5 types of meetings that could be held by an organization. The types of meetings that could be held by an organization. Now that one, if you look at our lesson number 15, we discussed about types of meetings. And I gave you very many types of meetings. So we will just state, then in your own, you can give more details. So number 1, tulisema kuna informal meetings. Informal meetings, that's number 1. Na tukasema these are, there are no set procedures laid down for running them and are therefore harder to plan and control. That's what we call informal meetings. Number 2, it is formal meetings. Formal meetings. Now we said that these are official meetings and they have well laid down procedures for undertaking them. They have well laid down procedures for undertaking them. Number 3, we have what we call command meetings. Command meetings. And we said this is where a senior calls the juniors to give them instructions. Command meetings. Number 3, that should be number 4 now. Number 4 is annual general meeting. Annual general meeting, we say these are meetings that are held once per year. And then we talked of general committee meetings. General committee meetings. General committee meetings. General committee meetings. And then another one is subcommittee meetings. Subcommittee meetings. That's number 6. And then number 7, tukasema extraordinary general meetings. Extraordinary general meetings. Extraordinary general meetings. So those are the meetings that we normally have. The meetings, 7 of them. The examiner had wanted 5. So we have given ourselves 7 of them. Okay. The next question, we go now to question number 2. Question number 2. Inasema, outline 5 roles of a secretary during a meeting. 5 roles of a secretary during a meeting. 5 roles of a secretary during a meeting. So we discussed this one the other day, but now the question was after the meeting, what we need to do. So during the meeting is number 1, check that everything is okay. Check that everything is okay. Go hapo kwa meeting. That's the very first thing. Check that everything is okay. Number 2, advise members on the seating arrangement. You advise members on the seating arrangements. Useme we nakaa hapa ni kwa kina fulani, hapa ni officials, hapa ni members. So advise members on seating arrangement. Number 3, ensure there are sufficient copies of relevant documents. Ensure there are sufficient copies of relevant documents to every member. Sufficient copies of relevant documents to every member. What we mean by that is, kama kuna karatasi itatumika, maybe a report or the minutes of the previous meeting, you ensure we have sufficient copies. By sufficient, we mean, kama tuko na 20 members, kisha we have 20 copies. Then ensure that they are circulated. Kila mtu ako nayo at the right time. The other one is take the minutes. Take the minutes. You take the minutes as the discussion goes on. And then from there, you can advise the chair on time and on timings. You can be advising the chair on the issue of time. Yeah. Although it's the role of the chair to manage time, you as a secretary, as you write, you can be informing him. Sasa tumebakisha, or you can even be advising him on the agenda items. So that's what we could even leave it as advise the chair. So those are the roles that are undertaken by a secretary during a meeting. Part B, explain 5 advantages of using wireless networks. Advantages of using wireless networks. Tulisoma hiyo wireless networks. If I go to our notes towards the end, that was topic. Yeah, topic number, no, lesson number 19. Lesson number 19. Lesson number 19. So I was saying in our lesson number 19, we covered wireless technology, and I gave you 4 benefits. And number 1, tukasema there is increased efficiency. Number 2, you are really out of touch. Really out of touch. Number 3, greater flexibility. Greater flexibility and mobility. Number 4, reduced costs. Reduced costs. Number 5, you can say freedom from wires. Freedom from wires. You see, like there are some classes I've taught you when I have a mic. Niko na mawaya huwa na hang huku. I'm sure you have ever seen them. So those wires, they limit my movement here. But like now, when I'm not using the wire, I'm just wireless, then I'm free from those wires. Yeah. Another one is easy setup. Easy setup. A wireless gadget is very easy to set. Easy setup. Easy setup. Easy setup. So I think that is good. Part C inasema, there are many achievements that have been made in East Africa telecommunication sector over the last decade. Among them is the modern marvels of technology in teleconferencing. With reference to the above statement, list 5 advantages of teleconferencing. Advantages of teleconferencing. That one also we get it in our lesson number 19. Ukiturn to kidogo hapo unaipata. Teleconferencing. Now, teleconferencing, we said, is an electronic communication between 2 or more persons at 2 or more locations. Teleconferencing is an electronic communication between 2 or more persons. Now, the examiner hapa anatuuliza, we state 5 advantages. I gave you 7. Number 1, easy to use. Easy to use. Number 2, easily available. Easily available. Number 4, or number 3, easy to participate. Easy to participate. Number 4, takes a short time to set up. Takes a short time to set up. Number 5, saves costs and energy. Saves costs and energy. Another one is efficient record keeping. Efficient record keeping. Another one is reliable at all times. Reliable at all times. So those are the advantages that you get when you are doing teleconferencing. When you are doing teleconferencing, you get those advantages. Okay, so we are through with that question of question number 2. Good. Let's go to question number 3. Nayo tujibu. Question number 3 inasema, identify 6 internal communication challenges in an organization. 6 internal communication challenges. Let's look at our notes where we talked about internal communication. Hope I'm able to get it quickly. Internal communication. Internal communication. Yes, good. Internal communication. Oh, that was our lesson number 4. Internal communication. Lesson number 4. Tulisema internal communication is the information exchange among participants within an organization. Is information exchange among participants in an organization. Now, I gave you the examples. I also gave you the plan. Then I gave you an assignment. The assignment was reading that list several purposes and several barriers to internal communication. So kama ulifanya hiyo assignment, then you should have the answers. But if you did not do, then you can copy. Number 1, lack of transparency. Lack of transparency. Lack of transparency. That's a major challenge. Number 2, vague statements from management. Vague, V-A-G-U-E, vague statements from management. That's a statement that you're not very clear. What is it that they are saying? Another one that you can cite is employees are afraid to ask questions. Employees are afraid to ask questions. The employees are afraid to ask questions. Yeah, that is a major disadvantage also. Another one is that the goals of the employees and company are mismatched. The goals of the employees and the company are mismatched. The goals. You find what is it you want to communicate, not what the company is all about, or why the meeting was called. Another one is neglecting the needs of the employees. Neglecting the needs of employees, you find that also affects communication. Another one is lack of consistency. Lack of consistency. Another one is lack of active participation. Lack of active participation. So those are some of the challenges that you find when you are looking at internal communication in an organization. Then from there, part B, we are told to summarize 6 types of nonverbal communication. Tulisoma hii juzi, but hiyo swali ya juzi ilikuwa inatuuliza what are the positive nonverbals. So here they are just asking us the types of nonverbal communication. So number 1, andika eye contact. Eye contact. So venye mtu anakuangalia kwa macho ama anakosa kukuangalia, it shows whether they are interested or not interested. Eye contact. Number 2 is the tone or voice, or tone of voice. Tone of voice. Tone. Yeah. If someone is shouting or is whispering, that is nonverbal. It can tell you the passion they have about what they are saying. Another one is personal appearance. Personal appearance. Mtu amevaa aje. In as much as anakuongelesha, how are they dressed? We also read a lot from your dressing. Next is posture. 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 Mtu amesimama aje, amejishika kiuno ama what is the posture that that person has? Posture, very important. Another one is touch. Touch. There are some people, as they talk to you, they want to touch or they can't touch you. So that touch is also a nonverbal communication. Another one is facial expressions. Facial expressions. Facial expression. The way someone is expressing their face, they will tell you. Another one is personal space. Personal space. It's a gap that someone is putting between you and them as you talk. The personal space. And another one is hard gestures. Hard, mkono. H-A-N-D. Hard gestures. Hiyo mikono ina move namna gani? So what are the hard gestures? So those are some of the types of nonverbal communications. Haya, part C inauliza 4 principles of ethical communication. 4 principles of ethical communication. I'm sure you know by now that hii maneno ya ethical communication is appearing almost in every paper. So the principles of ethical communication, there are very many that people cite, but I just want to confine myself to ourselves today for the 4 that the examiner has asked. Number 1 is honesty. Honesty. Yeah, honesty. Usiongee uongo. Number 2 is openness. 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 Be open. Don't hide anything under the table. Number 3 is clarity. 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 Number 4 is respect. 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 So those are some of the principles of ethical communication. Be respectful, be clear, be open, be honest. Even confidentiality is also one of them, and many others that we mentioned. Okay, so we are through with question number 3. Let's go to question number 4. Question number 4 inasema, quite often senior management officers in an organization are called upon to deliver oral presentations in various forums within and out of the organization. In relation to the above statement, propose 5 steps forward in the preparation stage of a presentation. If you have been called to go and make a presentation, you have been called to go and make a presentation. And here, I think it's Modoni who was asking the other day whether you are given a topic or it's minor. Today, minor is not in class. You have been called, and we said you can be called and be told, come and discuss this topic, or come and discuss to us a topic of your choice. So obviously, if they have not given you a topic, you choose a topic. And we have been discussing on how to choose a topic, the factors to consider. So in this question, we are being asked, what are some of the things you can do to prepare? Number 1, outline your presentation. Outline your presentation. You ujue what is it you shall say. Outline your presentation. Number 2, practice your presentation ahead of time. Practice your presentation ahead of time. Practice your presentation ahead of time. Number 3 is read and revise your presentation. You read and revise your presentation. Number 4, perform audience analysis. Perform audience analysis. Perform audience analysis. Hapo ni pale tulisema unaenda unajua who is it that will be your audience. Perform audience analysis. Another one is borrow cues from professional speakers. Borrow cues. C-U-E-S. C-U-E-S. Borrow cues. Borrow cues from professional speakers. Watu wamebobea, watu wanajulikana, like Pierre Lumumba, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, even our own Robert Burare, and such others that are well known speakers, even the likes of CJ Atemo Bishop, yeah, and so on. And then, yeah, I think those are good enough. Those are good enough. Tulikuwa tumeulizwa 5. Haya, number B. Explain 5 benefits of external communication to a business organization. Tulisoma mambo ya external communication. External communication iko hapo. That was in our lesson number 4. I gave you just 3 advantages, but I want to add. So number 1 is developing community relations. Developing community relations. Developing community relations. Number 2 is communicating information. Communicating information. Communicating information. Number 3 is building brand loyalty. Building brand loyalty. Building brand loyalty. Tengeneza jina ya kampuni. Another one is optimizing external networks. Optimizing external networks. And the last one is good relations with suppliers. Good relations with suppliers. Good relations with suppliers. So those are some of the benefits of external communication. And I think they are very, very good. Haya, kutoka hapo, tunaenda question number 5. Question number 5. Today we are moving fast. That's good. Because we normally do a paper per lesson. So question number 5 is describe 3 stages of interpersonal communication. Stages of interpersonal communication. So we covered this interpersonal communication, but we did not cover the stages. So I wish to give you the stages. Number 1 inaitwa anticipation. 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 Kutarajia. Anticipation. Number 2, direct contact. Direct contact. And number 3, reciprocity. Reciprocity. Reciprocity stage. Reciprocity stage. Those are the 3 stages of interpersonal communication. Ukipatana na mtu hivyo, the first thing is to anticipate that atanisalimia, ataniongelesha. That's what you are calling anticipation stage, number 1. Unakuwa you are ready for the person to talk to you. Then the person finally talks to you. That is what you are calling direct contact. Like maybe akwambie habari yako. That's a direct contact. Na wewe sababu ulikuwa unatarajia atakusalimia, then you do the 3rd step, which is reciprocating. It is giving the feedback. Unamwambia mzuri sana. So that is those are the 3 stages. But I'm sure umewahi ona mtu wewe ulikuwa unatarajia kumsalimia, lakini unaona yeye hayuko huko, hata hataki salamu zako. So ukiona at the anticipation stage, that person is not anticipating you as well, so you just stop the communication. But when you realize huyo mtu anangoja umsalimie, and na wewe unataka kumsalimia, ama anataka kukusalimia na wewe unangoja, then it proceeds onward. So tumesema anticipation stage, direct contact stage, and reciprocity stage. Haya, contents of a formal report or sections of a formal report. So hiyo tukibie kwa our notes, tulisoma about business report. Let me see, hiyo tulisoma kwa lesson gani? Lesson gani? Meetings. Reports. Yes, umeona types of report. This was covered in lesson number 16. Lesson number 16. Lesson number 16, tukasoma report writing. Tukasoma mambo ya qualities of a good report. Tukasoma types of report. Tukakuja tukasema purposes of business report. Alafu tukasema structure and contents. So I gave you 9, although here they are asking for 5. So number 1, tukasema ni title. Title. So hiyo inaonyesha the name of the report. Number 2, identification of the writer, user, and date. Identification of the writer, user, and the date. Number 3, confidentiality statement. Confidentiality statement. Tulisema if the report is confidential, it's supposed to be indicated as such. Number 4 is contents page. Contents page. Number 5 is terms of reference. Terms of reference. Terms of reference. Another one is sources of information. Sources of information. Another one is sections. Sections. This is why we have the paragraphs. Sections. Number 8 is appendices. Appendices. Appendices are detailed explanations. And then number 9 is summary. Can have a report summary. Okay, let's go to part C. Now, these are outline 4 factors that might be considered while presenting a business proposal. What are the factors that you need to consider when you are making a business proposal, when you are presenting a business proposal? Factors that you need to consider when presenting a business proposal. 1 is the audience. So who is your audience? You need to know who are you speaking to. Number 2 is good to know the objective. What is it that you want to achieve in making that presentation? The objective. Another one is the time. How much time do you have to make the presentation? And how much time is required for the business activity to be done? And then the language that you are going to use. You need to consider the language. Are you going to use very technical language, or you want to use very simple languages for the understanding? That will be guided also by point number 1, when you have known who is it that you are speaking to. Higher, we got question 6. Highlight 6 guidelines which are likely to be followed when designing a notice of a meeting. The guidelines that you are supposed to follow when you are designing a notice for a meeting. So number 1, be precise and to the point. Be precise and to the point. Be precise and to the point. Don't roam about. Be very precise and to the point. Number 2, use formal language. Use formal language. Use formal language. Another one is keep sentences short. Keep sentences short. Ya, usiandike ma sentences kubwa. The other one is use simple words. Use simple words. Number 5, ensure all the relevant details are contained or included. Ensure all the relevant details are included. All the relevant details are included. Another one, use the correct format. Use the correct format. Use the correct format to make the presentation. Use the correct format. Okay, so when you are doing that, it is very, very important to ensure that you're using the correct format. Haya. Number B, outline 4 features of each of the following types of interviews. The first one is screening interviews. Screening interviews. So the features here for the screening is just they test, they are testing. So we will highlight the few things they test. When you are called for a screening interview, they are testing some things here. Number 1, availability. Availability. This is when you go for an interview. Now, if we were to give you this job, how soon can you take it up? Yeah, and you should always say, not unless you are jobless. When you are jobless, you should tell us immediately. But if you are already working elsewhere, you should give a period like 2 weeks, so that you show that wale wengine who are kimadharau, you will give them some time to adjust. So availability is one of the things. Number 2 is salary range. Salary range, mshahara. This is where you are asked, if we hire you, how much would you expect us to pay you? Some of the candidates, they fail here because they say, I will be comfortable with what the organization is paying. That is wrong. You should say that mimi mkiniajiri nataka mnilipe 1,000 ama 10,000 ama milioni 1. But negotiable. Yeah, negotiable. Yeah. So when you fail to say how much you are worth, it shows you don't value yourself, or you don't know how to value yourself, and therefore you cannot value others, and you cannot value the company or the items. Something else that you'll find in a screening interview is skills. And maybe you can say skills and knowledge. Let's put it that way. Skills and knowledge. We are looking at how knowledgeable are you. Kama umesema you are an accountant. What skills do you have? Do you know what is debit? Do you know what is credit? So those skills. And number 4 is communication skills. Communication skills is also one of the things that is highly sought in a screening interview. Communication skills. How are you communicating? Okay, then let's go to selection interviews. Selection interviews, these are interviews where now we want to select those who will finally work with us. Selection interviews. And in the selection interviews, the characters are that, number 1, they are standardized. Yeah, standardized. So they are not very general, they are standardized. And because of that, they are objective. Objectivity. Another one is reliability. They are reliable. Reliability. And another one is that validity, validity, VA, validity, VALIDITY, validity. They're valid. Yeah. So those are the tests that we do in selecting our candidates. Discuss 6 benefits of social media to an organization. Benefits of social media to an organization. Tumekuwa tukisoma hii kitu, mambo na Facebook, mambo na Twitter, mambo na YouTube and so on, WhatsApp. The benefits, we have been talking about this, but still okay. Number 1, direct contact with the target audience. Direct contact with target audience. For example, when Destiny sends a message to WhatsApp or to Facebook, it goes directly to whoever is targeted. Direct contact with target audience. Number 2, increasing popularity with ease. Increasing popularity with ease. Increasing popularity with ease. So you become so popular within no time and it is a cheaper cost. Another one is better traffic. Better traffic. You can imagine everyone, or rather, almost everyone who has a smartphone in the world is in social media, one form or the other. So ukiweka kitu tu kwa Facebook, you can imagine the thousands, especially if you sponsor, ukilipia, it can reach very, very many people. The other one is creates a lasting image. It creates a lasting image. Image itadumu, lasting image. Another one is collaborations. Collaborations. You may find people now want to come to your page or to share your page and so on. Collaborations. Another one is availability of tools. Availability of tools. So these gadgets are available, the platforms are also available, and so on and so on. Good. Finally, we have question number 7. Question number 7, inasema summarize 5 limitations of face-to-face communication in an organization. Limitations of face-to-face. Kuongea face to face. Number 1, time consuming. Time consuming. You can imagine if you are to come physically to the class, na mimi niende physically. It takes a lot of our time. Time ya kuenda, time ya kurudi. Time consuming. Number 2, limited reach. Limited reach. There are some people you never reach face to face. Some of you, I know you live far away, but because we do not do face-to-face, we are still able to reach each other. If we were to do face-to-face, maybe hata hatujigawai juana. Something else is limited documentation. Limited documentation. Limited documentation. So you find that there is no records because it's face-to-face. We are not recording. Another one is limited accessibility. Limited accessibility. Limited accessibility. You find that we are not able to access each one easily. Another one is costs. It's expensive. Costs. Costs. Another one is distractions. Distractions. Mkiwa mnaongea na mtu mwingine anakuja anamuongelesha ama anapitia hapo, makelele inapigwa, ama hata huyo mnaongea na yeye unaona macho imepinduka. Something else is limited privacy. Limited privacy. There is no privacy. Another one is limited flexibility. Limited flexibility. Another one, you can talk of limited time. limited time. So those are some of the barriers that you find that will come in. Part B, good listeners actively try to overcome barriers to successful listening. In relation to the above statement, examine 5 differences between effective listeners and ineffective listeners. The differences. So nataka ugawe namna hiyo in a table. We start with the effective listening, and then the second column ikuwe ineffective listening. Effective listening and ineffective listening. Let's start with the effective listener. 1, maintains positive posture. Maintains positive posture. Maintains positive posture. Venye amesimama inaonekana ako positive, anasikiza. But on the other side, looks bored. Looks bored. Looks bored. Yeah, nakaa ameboeka tu. On the other side, for the active listener, avoids distractions. Avoids distractions. Taona akitoka mahali kuna makelele ama akiambia watu wanyamaze, avoids distractions. But on the other side, makes no effort to avoid distractions. Makes no effort to avoid distractions. Makes no effort to avoid distractions. Another one, number 3, keeps eye contact with the speaker. Keeps eye contact with the speaker. That is an effect, someone who is effective listener. Keeps eye contact with the speaker. But on the other side, for the one who is ineffective, they avoid eye contact with the speaker. Avoid eye contact with the speaker. They avoid Number 4 is that for the effective one, keeps focus on the comments by the speaker. Keeps focus on the comments by the speaker. So what the speaker is saying, that is what they are focusing on. That's what they are writing, they're thinking about. But on the other side, they focus on themselves or other things. They focus on themselves or other things. So unapata mwalimu anafunza, mtu ako kwa Facebook, ama mtu anaangalia nje, ama mtu anaongea na mwingine. So they don't focus on the speaker. Another one is that they get, for the effective, they get ideas and feelings of the speaker. They get ideas and feelings of the speaker. But on the other side, they do not get the ideas and feelings of the speaker. They don't get the ideas and feelings of the speaker. So those are some of the differences that we can cite. And I remember the other day we talked about the differences between active listening and inactive listening. So they are more or less the same. They are more or less the same. So that is all that I had for today. You realize that the more papers we are revising, the more faster we are moving. You can see like right now we have taken like an hour to revise one paper. The other days you have been taking more time, but because now it's becoming repetitive, we are citing things that we have already written and discussed, it becomes very, very easy. So as you suggested last time, you said we continue, so then we meet tomorrow. Is that so? Let me hear from you. We agreed we are meeting tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. So we meet tomorrow to look at the last paper of August 2021. And that will be fine. So thank you so much. Have a good day. So tomorrow we meet the usual time. Tomorrow we meet the usual time.